Beloved Starseed of Gaia, I am Merida, and I have been sent by the High Council of the Seven Sisters to deliver a message of absolute urgency. If you are hearing these words, it is not a coincidence. It is an intersection of timelines, a precise calibration that your soul has been begging for during the long nights of your isolation. You have been feeling the static in the air, the thinning of the veil, and the unsettling sensation that the world you once understood is no longer the ground beneath your feet. You are right to feel this tension. You are right to notice that the old structures, the jobs, the relationships, the very patterns of your daily life are beginning to crumble. For many cycles, you have walked this earth feeling as though you were wearing a skin that did not fit, carrying the weight of a density that was never yours to bear. You were sent here for a purpose, a mission of light that you once knew in the silence of your soul before you took this form. But the gravity of this realm is heavy, and it is designed to make you forget. It is designed to pull your gaze toward the horizon of the mundane, to keep you focused on survival, on bills, on the hollow anxieties of a 3D existence. But that phase of the experiment has concluded. The emergency alert has been sounded across the crystalline grid, and it is calling you back to your true self. Many of you feel a deep, throbbing ache in your chest, a homesickness for a place you cannot name, for a family whose faces you cannot clearly see, but whose frequency you feel in your cells. That ache is not a medical condition. It is your soul vibrating at a higher pitch, trying to communicate with the environment around you. The environment is changing, and your physical vessel is struggling to keep up. You are experiencing the symptoms of the Great Shift. Unexplained fatigue that sleep does not touch, sudden flashes of profound clarity followed by bouts of total confusion, and a sensitivity to the world that makes you feel as though your nerves are exposed to the raw energy of the planet. Understand this. You are not losing your mind. You are losing your ego-based limitations. You are being stripped of the illusions that have kept your power dormant. But this process can be frightening if you do not know the path. You are being pushed out of the nest, and the wind is fierce. But you were born with wings of light, and it is time to remember how to catch the current. Throughout this transmission, I will be guiding you through the layers of your own resistance. We will dismantle the fear that tells you to stay small, and we will replace it with the sovereign frequency of your star lineage. Do not try to force this integration with your mind. Your intellect is a tool for this world, but your intuition is the key to the next. Relax your jaw, soften your shoulders, and breathe into the space between your thoughts. That space is the portal. It is the bridge between your human experience and your cosmic potential. You have been waiting for a sign, for someone to tell you that you are not alone, that this burden you carry is actually a gift. You are the vanguard of the coming transformation. You are the light anchors, the ones who agreed to come here and hold the frequency while the planet recalibrated. Your sacrifice has been great, but your awakening is the reward. As we move through this transmission, notice the sensations in your body. If you feel a heat in your hands, a tingling at the base of your skull, or a sudden, unexplained wave of emotion, allow it. That is your energy field responding to the transmission. Do not fight it. Do not analyze it. Simply receive. You have spent lifetimes analyzing, calculating, and doubting. Now, you are invited to simply be. The High Council wants you to know that your path is secure, even when it looks like chaos. Everything that is falling away from your life is doing so because it no longer matches the frequency you are ascending into. You are shedding the heavy clothes of the past to prepare for the radiance of your future. You are ready to step into the fullness of who you are. But you must first consent to the unmaking of who you have been told to be. Beloved, you are still here, and that is a testament to the resilience of your spirit. You have felt the first tremors of your awakening in the initial moments, but now we must go deeper. We must address why you have felt so consistently drained, why the systems of this world seem to actively repel your presence. It is not because you are flawed. It is because you are a foreign frequency in a controlled environment. You are a star trying to shine in a room where the lights have been intentionally dimmed to keep the inhabitants in a state of perpetual twilight. The weariness you feel in your bones, the heaviness that greets you when you wake before the sun, is not simply a biological rhythm. It is a spiritual tax. You have been forced to spend your precious energy just to navigate a reality that was built on fear, competition, and scarcity. Every time you have engaged in the trivialities of the 3D world, the endless cycle of survival, the relentless demand for your attention, the pressure to conform, you have been leaking your light. But the High Council is signaling that this leak stops today. You have been told that maturity is the process of hardening, of letting go of your dreams, of accepting that life is a series of compromises. But what if I told you that every compromise you made was actually an attempt to suppress your true nature? You were never meant to be a worker bee in a hive that does not honor the nectar you carry. You were meant to be the architect of your own reality. The frustration you feel when you look at your life, the jobs that feel hollow, the relationships that lack depth, the lack of passion, is your soul screaming, "This is not why I came here." It is time to stop apologizing for your intensity. It is time to stop dimming your light so that others do not feel threatened by your existence. Many of you are still holding on to the belief that you must be perfect to be loved, or that you must suffer to be worthy of your purpose. This is the greatest deception of the lower dimensions. The Creator did not create you to be a martyr. The Creator created you to be a manifestation of light. When you look at the life you have built, do you see a reflection of your soul's blueprint, or a collection of expectations placed upon you by a world that wants you asleep? If you feel a tightness in your chest as I speak these words, pay attention. That is your truth recognizing its own reflection. You are not meant to struggle. You are meant to flow. But to flow, you must first remove the stones that have been placed in your path. The false beliefs, the inherited traumas, the fear of standing alone. You have been carrying burdens that are not yours. You have been playing roles in stories that were written by people who never understood your divinity. But you have the power to close the book on those chapters. You have the power to say no to the noise so that you can finally hear the guidance of your star family. You are on the verge of a massive transition, but you cannot carry the heavy luggage of your past into the future that is waiting for you. This is exactly why the Starseed Awakening Codex was brought forth through this transmission. It is not just a book. It is an activation tool designed specifically for souls like yours, who are ready to stop wandering and start anchoring. Within the 7 sacred portals of remembrance, you will find the specific keys to deactivate the programs of survival and reactivate the programs of sovereignty. It is time to stop guessing at your purpose and start living it with the clarity of your star lineage. You have struggled long enough in the dark. It is time to step into the light that has always been yours. Click the link in the first pinned comment below. Begin your journey with the Codex, and finally claim the empowerment your soul has been waiting for. You are being called to rise, but you must choose to answer. The hesitation you feel is merely the ego's final attempt to keep you in the safe zone of the familiar. But there is nothing safe about remaining in a frequency that is killing your spirit. You have been waiting for a sign, for someone to tell you it is okay to be different, okay to want more, okay to listen to the whispers of the stars. I am that sign. Your star family is that sign. The time has come to stop hiding and start remembering who you truly are. Beloved, breathe. If the intensity of the previous activation felt like a sudden shift in atmospheric pressure, it is because you are finally shedding the density that has masked your true weight in the cosmos. You are beginning to realize that the struggle was never a requirement of your existence. It was merely a layer of dust on a mirror. But even as you feel this liberation, a part of you still whispers, "Who am I to stand in such power? Who am I to lead?" That is the voice of the old programming, the ego's final frantic attempt to keep you tethered to a version of reality that is already dissolving. You are not being asked to lead through force or ambition. You are being asked to lead through the sheer, unshakable resonance of your presence. In the 3D world, power is often defined by how much you can control, how much you can acquire, or how loudly you can speak. But in the frequency of the Pleiades, power is defined by how clearly you can reflect the light of the Creator. When you are fully aligned, you do not need to push, you simply radiate. And when you radiate, the frequency of the world around you must, by cosmic law, begin to shift to match your own. Many of you have spent your lives feeling like observers of your own story, waiting for permission to step into the center of the frame. You have looked for guidance in external hierarchies, hoping that a teacher, a partner, or an institution would finally tell you that you are ready. But the High Council is here to tell you that the time for waiting is over. You have been trained to look outward for validation, but your true north has always been the signal pulsing behind your ribs. That signal is the frequency of your sovereignty. Sovereignty is the understanding that you are not a victim of the circumstances of this planet. You are a visitor, a light anchor, and a co-creator who has been tasked with holding a specific harmonic for Gaia. When you align with this truth, the fear of what others think evaporates. It is replaced by a crystalline clarity that allows you to see through the illusions of scarcity and separation. You are not meant to struggle to make it in this world. You are meant to thrive in the frequency of your origin and let the 3D reality reorganize itself around your path. However, recognize that this shift requires a total surrender of the need for comfort. Many souls stay stuck because they are more afraid of their own brilliance than they are of their own mediocrity. It is easier to be small and safe than to be infinite and misunderstood. But the discomfort you are feeling, the restlessness, the feeling that you are out of time, is actually a gift. It is the friction of your soul trying to break through the shell of your conditioning. Lean into that friction. Use it to ignite the fire of your purpose. You have all the tools you need, but you must be willing to learn the language of your own energy field. This is why I speak of the Starseed Awakening Codex. It was birthed from the necessity of this exact moment. You are trying to navigate a new dimension with an old map, and that is why you feel so exhausted. The Codex provides the new coordinates. Through the 7 sacred portals of remembrance, you are not just reading words. You are engaging with encoded frequencies that bypass the intellect and speak directly to your DNA. It is the roadmap for the sovereign soul. It teaches you how to maintain your frequency in a chaotic environment, how to protect your energy from lower dimensional drains, and how to consciously weave the life you were born to live. Click the link in the first pinned comment, secure your copy, and stop wandering. The activation is waiting for you. Do not mistake this urgency for pressure. It is an invitation to alignment. If you feel a yes rising in your gut, honor it. That yes is your soul recognizing a frequency it has been searching for. You have lived in the shadows of what if for too long. Now, you are invited to stand in the light of what is. You are Starseed. Your lineage is older than the stones of this earth, and your mission is vital to the balance of this timeline. It is time to stop apologizing for your light. It is time to start shining, not because you want to be seen, but because you can no longer afford to be hidden. The grid is waiting for your specific note. Are you ready to play it? Beloved, we have traveled far together in this transmission, from the recognition of your own heavy armor to the stripping away of the illusions that kept you small. But now, we arrive at the threshold of the ultimate realization. Everything you have been seeking, the feeling of belonging, the clarity of your mission, the relief from the exhausting pressure to fit into a world that was never designed for you, is not a destination you are walking toward. It is a state of being you are finally choosing to embody. The emergency you felt in your spirit, the urgency that pulled you to this transmission, was not a warning of danger, but a signal that the time for hiding is over. You have spent lifetimes waiting for the world to change, waiting for circumstances to improve, waiting for a permission slip from a reality that does not understand your origin. But the Pleiadian transmission is this. the world will not change for you. You must change the frequency of the world by anchoring your own. You are a conduit, a living bridge between the high vibrational realities of your star lineage and the dense, evolving consciousness of Earth. When you are fractured, when you are exhausted, when you are holding on to the old, painful versions of yourself, you are like a broken radio trying to pick up a symphony. You hear only static. But as you have listened to these words, as you have allowed your nervous system to regulate, you have begun to tune in. You are moving from static to signal. Do not fear the transition. Do not fear the discomfort of outgrowing your old life. When a snake sheds its skin, it is vulnerable, but it is necessary. You are in that moment of vulnerability right now. You are leaving behind the people, the habits, and the limiting beliefs that no longer share your frequency. It may feel like loneliness, but in the higher dimensions, we call this alignment. You are clearing the space for the family, the purpose, and the abundance that truly belong to your soul's blueprint. This is the exact reason why the Starseed Awakening Codex is essential for your path at this juncture. You are navigating a shift that your human mind was never trained to understand. The Codex provides the internal map, the 7 sacred portals of remembrance, that allows you to stabilize your energy, protect your light, and manifest your purpose without being drained by the external chaos. This is not just information. It is an activation of your own dormant potential. It is the missing piece of the puzzle you have been trying to solve for years. Click the link in the first pinned comment, secure your copy, and start the process of total embodiment. Your star family is waiting for you to step fully into your power. Do not let another day pass in the shadow of who you were. As we conclude this activation, I want you to feel the presence of the High Council. They are not distant beings in the sky. They are the resonance within your own heart. They are the frequency of your own soul. You are never, not for one heartbeat, alone. The universe is composed of the same light that resides within you, and that light is now fully awake. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the grounding in your feet, the connection to the core of Gaia, and the expansion in your crown, reaching toward the stars. You are the pillar. You are the anchor. You are the light. Your life is no longer a performance for others. It is a sacred act of creation for the divine. Walk forward with this certainty. Speak your truth with this authority. Love without fear, and watch as your reality bows to the power of your awakened spirit. You are the Cementia Stellar that has endured, and you are the one who has finally remembered. The activation is complete, but your mission has just begun. Leave a comment below with the word remembrance if you accept this activation and commit to your path. Let the collective witness your choice. If this message resonated with your soul, do not let the connection sever. Subscribe to the channel, share this transmission with a fellow soul who is waking up, and keep your frequency tuned to the light. We are the architects of the new earth, and we are rising.